Good afternoon. We're not going to do much with the festivities and introductory shits and all that. Mostly because all we're doing is we need to actually complete what we've started back on Friday and just do the rest of Case 3. Because encoding completely shit the bed on me, cut the rest of the stream off in the middle of saying words, not even like any reactions caught to the whole thing going to shit. And then there was the extra little bit that was gone to shit that we will not be paying attention too much to. Oop. Me knocking the sticks around. Plus I'm trying to make sure that Walter isn't messing too much with the cables. He's lying at the edge of the bed. He's a good boy. So I don't necessarily need to go over the 3 points of mention, because chances are, like I say in the description, once this stream is over and done with, and maybe this entire series is over and done with, and I have the time, I'll take these split up streams, hopefully it's just gonna be 1 and 5, we can always hope, and stitch them together, so then I can give them proper timestamps, and things will flow a lot nicer and a lot better. So, nothing's changed as regards to recommending things, just the only sort of thing that I recommend today. And, you know, just be civil and shit, and you can find shit over in Discord and Twitch, Twitter even. That's where we all are located. And as such, we shall head on over now. Watch as the frames drop suddenly. Maybe not. Maybe the game will be nice and, or maybe OBS will be nice and like this time. Oh, very nice. I'd look at the achievement that we achieved in the previous stream, which was investigating the teapot and all that. But the picture is actually the one they show at the very end of the game, so we're not going to look at that just yet. Let's just continue with why they work together. However, we need to history it for a little bit to see exactly where we were at. Because, yeah, it was like, we go from choice wake up, this part. It's like, pretending to be asleep while the going gets tougher and work on me, I'm afraid. Mr. Frost was a sculptor. Mr. Gusteau, I doubt he cared much about winning for a little confectioners. In which case, he probably had a different motive for taking part in the contest, wouldn't you say? And then Gusteau freaks out and says, it was me, I wanted that title. I don't even remember how I did Gusteau's voice. I should have looked it up! I should have looked it up! Frost was only in it for the prize, the ultimate cookbook. I see. Since your objectives dovetailed so neatly, you decided to work together. But then something happened. A breakdown in your relationship, perhaps. If so, I wanted to know why. Mr. Prosecutor, I'm still quite unwell after my brush with death. Push me too hard, and I'll be on my way back to the medical room. No, wait! Then you better wrap this up quickly. I'm already dangerously low on patience. Mr. Gusteau is desperately trying to make his escape, but he's not going anywhere yet. And as long as he's still keeping things from me, so let's figure out what he was really after next. There's no time to lose. I need to pick the right line of questioning. And fast. Did you want more than just the title? You two had your eyes on something other than the title, didn't you? After all, I'm not sure the title of World's Greatest Confectioner even counts that much. Urgh! Now you're insulting the ways of the confectioner! My goal, my own goal, was to win the title. I didn't care about anything else. You have no idea how much it would have meant to me. Face it, you were never gonna win. Look, my sense of design may not have been up to snuff back then. You should see me now. Oh? So you've improved? You bet I have! I didn't do all that training in Zane-Pop for nothing. I'll believe it when I see it. I think he's not meditating yet, so it's probably not much to press in just yet. I looked at Tinkeroa, you know. Spent hours poring over the design for his work. Unless it's actually pouring, maybe that's a typo, pouring? Who knows? Even used to watch this show, my son! Sounds to me like Mr. Tangaroa's work was especially influential for his student studies. And whoever his recipe books, he might have become the best. Huh. Maybe. The book was a real treasure, no doubt about that. Any confectioner would have wanted it. So you're interested in the book too? The sequel to the book. You claim that your only goal was to win the title, yet you also seem to have had an interest in the contest's prize, the ultimate cookbook. The greatest collection of recipes by the world's greatest confectioner. I can't say I had absolutely no interest in it. And even if I did, what exactly is so wrong with that? Nothing, I suppose. Only that the book contained recipes for medicines, not desserts. And everyone who went to the contest supposedly knew that. I feel like I'm finally getting somewhere. I'm finally getting to know you. Say, do you mind going out for a coffee? I can't let him slip from my grasp now. Just need to stay calm and keep the pressure on. Next, let's find out why he wanted the cookbook. Do you know what the book was really worth? Do you know how valuable the cookbook really was? What kind of question is that? It was a collection of Tangaroa's recipes. That was like a confectioner in the world who wouldn't have wanted to get their hands on it. Okay, so we don't have a clue quite yet for this. So we need to do this. So your plan was to win the cookbook and use it to help you with your own creations. What else? A book like that could have improved my craft tenfold. You could have made a lot of money if you sold it. I don't know much about what was actually in there. But it was worth more than money, I'll tell you what. The question noise. You know more than you're letting on. Come now, Mr. Gusto. I think you know more about the cookbook than you claim. You told us a little about it at the start of the contest. But you know what kind of recipes they actually contain, didn't you? No, they weren't the dessert recipes at all. No! I see you did your homework. Fine, so you know what was really in there. You asked for cookbook, or the Angel's Cookbook, to give it its proper title. It's a collection of chemical formulas and ways to spice new medicines nobody's ever heard of. So we did know that the cookbook actually contained recipes for medicines. This could be an important clue. It could be. So let's press that button whilst I take a drink. Time to deploy my clue. Except you knew that's not what was already in there. Your designs may have improved thanks to your training in the farm, but you clearly didn't do enough work with your own skills and perception. You've already admitted that you knew the art of a cookbook collection of recipes for medicines. Now by making your interest not gastronomical but pharmaceutical in nature. Nice. You needed medicine, didn't you? Shrug. Shake. You're a confectioner, Mr. Gusto. You had no professional interest in revolutionary new medicines, which suggests that your interest must have been personal. Oh, God! Could you stop that? Edward, I swear to... I underestimated you. Fine. You're right. Winning the title wasn't the only reason I entered the contest. I needed one of the recipes in that book. It was for my son. He was sick. He was? Tell me more. Before sick, trying to skateboard trick. That's such an easy joke to make, and everyone does it whenever sick comes up in the context of anything. That's none of your business. I told you as much as you need to know. He looks rattled, but I can't let him off the hook. Let's find out what the mystery illness was. I've almost gotten to the bottom of this. I can feel it. Just a few more moves. Bum bum. Tell me more about your son. Tell me a little bit more about your son. Goodbye, Walter. It was my pride and joy. It was my biggest fan. And you entered the contest in order to help him? You clearly don't have children of your own, Edgeworth. Any father would have done the same. I would have done anything to help him. Anything! Somehow I don't believe you. Who knew? He will come to see me here at the contest venue too. Right up and through the semi-final. Really? You didn't get in the way of your work? If you were trying to be Tangaroa, surely you didn't have time to have for a child. Well, I wanted to do what I could for him. He said he wanted to always be the first to try my creations. So he wasn't too sick to join you. You said your son was sick, Mr. Gusto, and yet he was able to come and join you for the contest. It wasn't that kind of illness. Nothing life-threatening anyway. Feels like there'll be an important clue. Okay, was the book necessary for him to get better? So if you need a cookbook to cure your son. Yeah, nowadays you can't get the medicine he needs anyway. Back then, well, that book was already home. Which is why I didn't dare waste my time on fancy tea parties. I had to give it all. My offer. And what about Mr. Tangaroa's work? Surely that's tea-breaking and perfect opportunity to go and steal the glance at it. But what makes you think I had the energy or time to care about what I was saying? But you cared about Mr. Tangaroa's work. Maybe not that. I didn't hear the bling, so it could have been that. I'm still recovering, so if you've got nothing to say, let me get back to the meeting. Oh, fuck. So that really is the clue I need to do the same thing. I need to study my opponent's reaction and take my own responses accordingly. Could you tell me the name of the disease your son suffered from? Oh, you're a real cold customer, Mr. Prosecutor. Isn't it enough that he was seriously ill? Why would you force me to tell you all? I didn't like my clue. But it wasn't life-threatening, was it? You've already shared with me that your son's illness wasn't life-threatening. So why are you so reluctant to share any further details? It may not have been life-threatening, but that doesn't mean it hadn't been life-altering. I see. That must have been very hard on both of you. Of course it was. That was why I did everything I could to find a cure. We were desperate. He couldn't taste anything. Not even his favorite desserts. Not even his face. Did he ever taste disorder? As I understand it, the ultimate cookbook contained the recipe for a very particular medication. One that Mr. Tangaroa used to cure himself of his own taste disorder. So we added 2? 2, you say? So your son has a taste disorder then, am I correct? Oh god! How did I let that slip? You've been asking me to believe that you needed to win the cookbook in order to cure your son. Was that really the case? Ah, of course it was. What are you saying? I'm saying that I'm not so sure that's true based on everything you told me. I don't have a clue as to how to proceed with this line of question. Okay, so we need to do this again. Beep boop beep boop. Beep boop beep boop. Oh fuck. I did that wrong! So it was the first flip. But you cared about his work. I think you made it abundantly clear how much interest you had in Mr. Dangaroa's work. What's more, if you were that determined to win the ultimate cookbook, I seriously doubt you would have passed up on the chance to complete your competitor's entries. I had plenty of chances for other contests to see and sample my rival's work, but each time I did, nothing seemed to have any flavor. Must have been nuts or something. Nothing Mr. Gusto tasted any flavor. There we go. Now we do it. I just want my clue. Skip it away, boom boom. Swing. You have taste disorder. Skip it on hustle. This is exactly how they sound when they speed up. Time to deploy my clue. You were sick yourself, weren't you? Taste disorders are difficult to live with. It isn't easy not being able to enjoy your own food. You should know. After all, you just told me you experienced something like that during the contest. You said that nothing you said about that had any flavor. Not at all. Those were your words, correct? Which would seem to suggest that you were suffering from a taste disorder. Ah! A confectioner without a sense of taste. Not exactly ideal. Are you sure it wasn't actually your own condition you were seeking a cure for? Ugh! What is that one infernal? I had enough of speculation. I managed just fine in that contest. Made all my own entries. No problems. Weren't you working with Mr. Frost? What the scallop? Sorry, but I'm afraid you're contradicting your own testimony. You already admitted that you and Mr. Frost have worked together during the contest. It's too late to claim you did it all on your own now. Oh, oofy. You would must believe that you're a man of principle, a dedicated student of the confectioner arts. Yet you abandoned those principles and conspired with Mr. Frost to rig the contest. Also, you could cure your own taste disorder. You got me, Mr. Prosecutor. As you said, my sense of taste was shot. In the abdomen. My son's was fine. I'd kept it hidden for so long, 18 years, and nobody knew. Sadly, you can lie to others, but you can't lie to me. Both Mr. Gusto and Mr. Frost entered the contest, hoping to obtain the ultimate cookbook, for the medicine that would cure Mr. Gusto's disorder, and the money it would bring in for Mr. Frost. Thus, an uneasy alliance was forged. And that, I believe, is checkmate. Woo! All that health healed up. We did it. I forgot that he lost all that health. Because I was stupid and dumb. Mine just completed. Woo! Wait a minute. You're good. I never told anybody of this, but you figured it all out anyway. It's true. 18 years ago, I developed Agousia. Hey! It's not Hypogousia, but it's Agousia. So that's probably what they call it nowadays. There you go. What's Agousia? It's a taste disorder that makes it so you can't taste anything at all. as opposed to exclusively not tasting salt. A confectioner's worst nightmare. Mr. Fender, is this what Mr. Tangaroa had as well? No, the big man had what they call dissociated taste disorder. What? DTD? Huh? Basically, some things he could taste just fine, while others had no flavor at all. So he suffered too. God, if it easy. No one wasn't a way to cure it on the market. Which is why I needed Mr. Tangaroa's cookbook. Do you admit now that was the real reason you entered the contest? It was only one of the reasons. I wasn't lying when I said I wanted the title. When I put my mind to something, it gets done, and I won't lose to anybody. I may not have been able to taste it then, but I still knew my stuff was good enough to win. Oh, so you went into the final thinking you stood a good chance of winning. Of course. What was it the Fender said about Mr. Tangaroa thought of Mr. Gusto's creations? Mr. Gusto's creations were a perfect balance of flavor and design. At least up through the semi-final. But disappointingly, his entries for the final were subpar on both counts. We were told that your entry for the final was far from the prize-winning taste sensation you described. What happened, Mr. Gusto? What went wrong that day? What went tits up, as it were? Fine. You want me to talk? I'll talk. But you're not going to like what I have to say. Not indeed. My entry for the final. Frost and I were working together right through the final. I handled the flavor, he did the designing. But I wanted to face Tangaroa in the final on my own. No help, just me and my skills. So I helped Frost with his entry. With mine, I did alone. If it didn't taste good in the final, that's on me. What can I say? I like training. I see those frames going down. Only on the playback, but hey. And that's all there is to it. Happy now? Ah. Doesn't seem to be any obvious contradictions in his testimony. Yep, not that I thought it'd be easy to get anything real out of him. He's managed to not let slip what really happened for 18 years, after all. Why don't you try pushing him a bit, Mazarino? See if you can shake something loose. I think I might just have to, Fender. My entry for the final. Frost and I were working together right up through the semi-final. This is true.
Hold it!
Frost was in charge of designing the work you posted while you handled the taste. Yeah, he was a sculptor, a craftsman, and his sense of design was second to none. But he was clueless about confection, which is where I came in. We each did what I was good at. Why did you not have an eye for aesthetics? Not even for the simple stuff. Ugh. Look at him go, look at him go! How do you like me now? Huh, the national symbol of Zangfa. Oh yeah, it's a phoenix, that's awesome. I'll say. Very different to the stuff you pumped out 18 years ago. Shut the fuck up and behold the fruits of my training. I've dedicated my whole life to my craft. But back then, we both needed each other's help, so we joined hands until the final. We wanted to face Tangaroa in the final of his own. Tangerine!
Hold it!
I guess I've already had this debate with myself. Tang, Tange, I don't know. You were serious about winning the title then. Of course, the art of confectionery is my life. Why wouldn't I have wanted to be crowned the greatest? I had a lot to learn back then. Guess it's no surprise my work wasn't up to scratch. But the title wasn't the only thing you wanted. That was the cookbook too. And you wanted the book even more than you wanted the title. Isn't that right, Mr. Ugh. Overruled. Overruled. Mr. Edgeworth, you're badgering a witness who is still suffering the effects of today's attack. I cannot allow this harassment to continue. Ugh! I understand, Your Honor, but ignore him, Mr. Gusto. You need not answer for that vile, mysterious question. But please, do continue your testimony in your own time. So I helped Frost with his entry. Nothing more.
Hold it!
So you're saying Mr. Frost didn't help you at all? But he'd helped you up until then, correct? It's a bit strange for him to stop so late in the contest, huh? Strange or not, it's the truth. Could be any other reasons too, I wouldn't know. It's mine, it's gonna be a headache to prove. 18 years is a long time. Not unless that gizmo of yours was built in lie detector, Kate. If it did, it would sold in the show from Mr. Edwards long before that. Don't worry, Fender, I can tell when he's lying. No Drew Hickey's assistance required. Please, Mr. Gusto, continue your testimony. It didn't taste good in the final, then it's on me. What can I say? I liked training.
Hold it!
And yet I hear that your creations prior to the final were scored highly for that flavor. So what went wrong? Was there some kind of cooking accident on that day? Ugh. Oh, nothing like that. It was... I told you. I had a taste disorder. My sense of taste failed. It's as simple as that. What Mr. Frost sent you was complimented with flavor. Your sense of taste failed you there. Did something happen overnight? Oh! I don't think he's gonna spill any more beans, Mr. Redwood. I perhaps should ask him about something else. As we're at the semi-final. Did something change between the semi-final and the final, Mr. Gusto? Not really. The only difference between the semi-final and the final was the process in helping.
Hold it!
So you really completed your final entry without Mr. Frost's help. I may not have had his designs to lean on, but I knew it was still solid when it came. Still solid when it came to flavor. So the visuals were the only thing that changed between the semi-final and the final. You sure, Gusty, old pal? Gonna have to call you out on that one, I'm afraid. It wasn't just its looks that got a big thumbs down come judgment time. Got trashed on flavor too. Doesn't sound much like we're winning to me. Despite his confidence, Mr. Gusto failed on flavor too. The lack of Mr. Frost's assistance shouldn't have affected that. So there was some of a difference. 18-year-old mystery. And the key to unraveling it is finally in my grasp. I just need to remember everything Panda told me about what he and my father discovered. Perhaps... That's not gonna help yet. That's not gonna help anything. Chocolates, no. None of this isn't either. I mean... Daily up through the semi-final.
Objection!
Way! I tap my forearm, just so you know. I can think of one significant difference between the semi-finals and the final, Mr. Gusto. Are you listening? Your son. This is him in the photograph, correct? He told me he was here with you up to the semi-finals. Ugh, I guess he was. What of it? What indeed? He was here with you until the semi-final, until he suddenly wasn't for the final. And just as suddenly, your work went from being lauded for its flavor, to being lambasted for it. I don't think that's a coincidence, do you? He wasn't just spending quality time with his father, he was playing a much more pivotal role than that. I just wanted to see me hard at work. I'm sure I was trying my best for this. Who knows? Maybe it was him being here that helped me do so well in those early rounds. Talks to the game, but nothing about this guy screams super dad to me. Indeed. Thankfully, we would only have to give such an idea credence if the story were true. After all, how much could he encourage with a one small boy at the taste of a grown man's work? Gusto prided himself on the flavor of his creation, and then he lost his taste. He must have had a tough time maintaining his high standards with such a devastating loss. Unless... I'm sure someone's here to cheer you on, but that wasn't all he was here to do, was it? You're a very suspicious man, Mr. Prosecutor. Well, why not try answering yourself for a change? What was an elementary school kid doing here, other than to support his father? To make your creations for you. Your son knew the taste of your work pretty well, I imagine, Mr. Gusto. He was my biggest fan. Of course he knew it. In which case, he would have been a good judge of whether something tasted on brand, so to speak, no? Ugh! What are you implying? You've already told us that you were suffering from a taste disorder. I'll admit it. You're good. I never told anybody any of this, but you figured it all out anyway. It's true, 18 years ago I developed a gousia. No one knew about your condition. Indeed, I doubt Mr. Frost would have wanted to continue collaborating with you had he found out. And after all, it was your job to make sure his creations tasted good. Therefore, your son wasn't just here to support you, he was helping you by taste testing your work. Dang, now it all makes sense. Frost's stuff tasted good because it really was finished the day before when the kids were still here. You have a vivid imagination, Mr. Prosecutor. But you do seriously think I trust a kid to tell me how to adjust the taste of my masterpieces? I have some pride, you know, even back then. Did you now? My designs may not have been so much to humble back then, but I always knew my work tasted better than anybody else. You think I'd risk everything by putting my reputation in the hands of a child? This is just more speculation. That's all it is. In that case, I have to speak of your son to this instant. Let's see how much of your story he can corroborate. Sadly for you, my son is no longer my concern. What do you mean? As soon as I got my sense of taste back, I went straight to Zenfire to start my training. And cut off all ties with the kid for good. What? You abandoned your own child? That ain't half, and that ain't the half of it. No one knows where he is, even now. Cops have looked all over for him, no dice. So, you can prove your asinine theory? I'd like to see you try. You think I care about anything besides your victory? Think again. I got my sense of taste back. What need do I have for a son? Silence the courtroom. While Mr. Gusto's words and actions may demonstrate a certain lack of humanity on his part, the goddess of justice cannot judge him for that. Therefore, Mr. Edgeworth, I believe it is time for you to admit defeat. Yeah, but give it up. 18 years is a long time for anything to sentence now. Prove her otherwise. Mr. Edgeworth, you have to do something. If you don't, the truth might be lost forever. Like the game over sequence. Where are you, Detective Gumshoe? Can't imagine whose blood it could possibly be, but I'll get it tested right away, sir. Please do, Detective. That's the last piece of the puzzle, I'm sure of it. Once we know whose blood it is. Hey, Miles. Sorry to cut it on your mind, pal, this time, but I was pondering something myself. Our friend Gusto didn't come here just to check up on the body, did he? You mean because he tried to open the case? Exactamundo. Think we have anything that might explain why he tried to do that? We might. If Detective Gumshoe can make it back in time with certain evidence. That's quite enough idle chatter for defense. Now, if you... Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Sorry to keep you waiting! Speak of the devil. I take it you have the test results, Detective? Yes, sir! The lab just got back to me! Detective, please. Court is in session. Now then, am I right to assume that you are bringing us the evidence Mr. Edgeworth, sir? Was just speaking of? What? Hey, no fair! Why didn't everybody tell me about this? It is indeed the evidence in question, Your Honor. It needed testing, so I asked you to carry it out. What the? Why is everybody always helping you? I'm supposed to be the one in charge here. Mr. Winner. I'm sorry it didn't involve you, but this is important. Can we at least hear what the detective has to say? Well, alright. So, Detective Gumshoe, what did the test results have to tell us? You're not gonna believe this, buddy, but the owner of the blood was found in a liquid at the qual of the Gemini cases. It was Carmela Gusto, the victim of the poison gas attack. What are you talking about? Thank you, Detective. You've been very helpful. Well, it looks like my suspicions were correct. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, what do you mean? Explain yourself. What is the significance of this blood in the case? It's only the very thing the perpetrator of the IS-7 incident have been trying to hide all these years. You know. The fact that your blood was found inside the Gemini case, Mr. Gusto, is as good as us finding your blood lying right next to Mr. Frost's body. Overruled. Why would there be traces of your blood there at all places, Mr. Gusto? If you won't answer, Her Honor, Mr. Gusto. If you won't answer Her Honor, Mr. Gusto, then I will. There wasn't just blood in the liquid from the Gemini case, there were traces of salt and sugar too. There were. And if you remember, one particular part of Mr. Frost's work was allegedly very salty indeed. Oh yeah! We're talking about what Felicia told us back then, right? What was it again? If they ever, I never tried ice so scrumptious in all my life. Really? Man, I wish I could have had a bite. Well, scrumptious except for the salty bit, of course. That was unbearable. The salty bit? It's in the other photo you got there. This bit. The Harvey thing. Gemini's liar. Yes, the liar. And only the liar tasted as if it had been flavored with salt. There were no traces of salt anywhere else in Mr. Frost's entry. Very interesting. And perhaps you can tell us, Mr. Edgeworth, where did the salt in the liar come from?
Take that!
This is the lamp from the IS-7 incident. Indeed. I believe the salt that gave the liar its flavor came from just the lamp. Mr. Von Karma had established that both salt lamps were in Mr. Tangaroa's room at the time of the crime. One of them was used to kill Mr. Frost. And it was stained with his blood. But no corresponding pool of blood was found in Mr. Tangaroa's room. Right, Mr. carpet and chucked a piece of chocolate with that. Chocolate. Chucked a piece of chocolate with that on it and fell stream. Furthermore, aside from the liar, no traces of salt were found anywhere else in the Frost's room either. Ugh. Hey, come to think of it, the lamps found in Delicia's room were both broken. The lamps appear to be broken. Oops, smashed. Both. Maybe they fell and broke on the floor. We never did figure out how the one that wasn't used to kill Frost got busted, but... Are we thinking maybe it had Gustav's blood on it at some point? Ugh! Anyone whose blood was found on one of the lamps would have been a person of interest to the police. So the killer needed to hide the blood somehow, and in a way that would arouse suspicion. You're seriously suggesting that the liar was used to do just that? I am. I suspect bloody salt was somehow applied to the liar, so that it could be hidden inside the case. Because unlike the fountain water, the sculptures would need more time and care to test properly. And so he waited and waited for his chance to dispose of the liar undetected. Then, the reason he's here today is... 18 years ago, Mr. Frost's body and the evidence pointing to his killer were taken away together. This, of course, was not part of the perpetrator's plan, and thus a new dilemma arose. How could he have said that neither Mr. Frost's body nor the evidence would be discovered someday? So back he comes 18 years later, sneaking in bright and early to try and cover his tracks. Well, Mr. Gusto, are you finally ready to admit it? That you were the one responsible for the IS-7 incident? Mr. Gusto, it's all because of you, Samson. Gusto, what's so funny? So I finally got caught, huh? All these years later? Nobody came close back then. Not even the big shot prosecutor. Or the attorney. That's some impressive work, Mr. Prosecutor. I have to hand it to you. You admit it then? That you murdered Artie Frost? Sure I do. I did it. I killed him. But he only had himself to blame. What do you mean by that? He agreed to help me. We were supposed to help each other so that none of us could win. And whoever won was supposed to let the other use the cookbook. But on the day of the final, the rat finally showed his true colors. Seriously, Frost, we had a deal. Sorry I'm not helping you in the final. Our little agreement is over, Gusto. But I helped you. I spent all day yesterday making the ice for your prices. Did you? Heck, you could prove that, I suppose. What do you... Wait, you were planning to betray me right from the start, wouldn't you? Got the Frost double-cross for you. I had to make my peace with the final by myself. And like you said, my son wasn't there. So we didn't have any help with the flavor either. So much for the pride you claim to have in your little ability to make delicious desserts. Go ahead and judge. You have no idea what it was like for someone like me to lose my sense of taste. I give up everything for the best. Everything. I take pride in it. Something someone like you could never imagine. You're right. I don't understand. Do you take pride in the fact that you resorted to murder? Or that you abandoned your son? Why would I want to understand someone who could do such things? A man can't afford to rely on other people. I learned that the hard way 18 years ago. My son never showed up on the day of the final. And in hindsight, I wouldn't be surprised if Frost was the reason why. There are dogs barking all over the place downstairs. Why would you think that? What exactly happened to your son? How am I supposed to know that? I told you, he's none of my concern anymore. And according to you guys, nobody knows where he is now either. You don't care? You're horrible! So his disappearance, so too, and your chances of winning, correct? Yeah, I had to find another way of getting my hands on that book. That's how the inspiration struck. I decided to skip afternoon tea and snuck into Tangaroa's room. It should have been so easy. All I had to do was photograph the formulas I needed and get out of there. But then Frost showed up. I thought I might find you here. Stealing recipes from the famous cookbook, huh? Frost! What's this? A cure for taste disorders? Oh no, that's just too tragic! A confectioner who can't taste anything? What will people say? If you tell anybody, I'll... Ah! You're what? You can't even hit me, you miserable worm. Why, you... Frost shook me hard when I went to punch him, knocked me clean off my feet. Crashed into one of the lamps. That's when my blood got on. So But Mr. Frost wasn't the first to get hurt.
When it was all over, I regretted they had to get rid of that blood somehow, so I scraped up bloody bits. I dissolved those salt shavings in some flavored ice mixture and brushed it all over the heart.
That's how you made the evidence linking you to the murder of Van.
Frost was gonna blackmail me. He would have made me give him money to keep quiet about my condition anyway.
So you decided you had to kill him.
Yeah, I guess I did. Why would I let him live? Would you want someone holding someone like that over your head? Besides, he's the one who drew first blood. Makes for a solid case of self-defense, don't you think?
So that was the impetus behind it all.
Anyway, I initially took the land to Frost's room. Went straight there once I figured out how I was supposed to hide the bloody part.
It's probably all the ice sculpture was lying about the place, I guess.
You're not as dumb as you pretend to be, Fender. Yeah, figured I could easily chip it off and grind it up. Once that was done, painting the stuff all over the heart was easy.
But why, Samson? Why did you have to frame him?
Hold it! I never meant for the cops to pin it on him. That was your fault. You and the rest of them. Why do you think I went to the trouble of placing the lamps and clocks back in Scolin's room?
There's only one reason I planted the photo of it in the room with another contestant, and that's to cast suspicion on that person.
What? You tried to frame me, Gusty Pants? Yeah.
But why? Why poor old me?
I respected Tangaroa. He was the best, a true champion. I would never have wanted him to take the fall. But you're a fraud. Your work wasn't even real. You had no respect for our crowds at all. You deserve to be punished for what you did.
Oh, Gusty, how could you?
I knew you were afraid maybe Tangaroa's work, Frost's body would have been found. My plan was to wait until Tangaroa was judging your work. That's when I'd sneak the corpse into Frost's room and freeze it. Well, thanks to you, Bound here found it before I had a chance to retrieve it.
I don't understand. Why'd you need to freeze his body at all?
Why indeed?
Mr. Edgeworth, surely you must know. Why did Mr. Gusto need to free Mr. Boss's body? Mr. Gusto needed to freeze Mr. Frost's body in order to obscure the time of death. If they determined that the murder occurred during afternoon tea, he would have been an obvious suspect.
Bingo! Freezing Frost's body was a symbol. Repairing everything took time. So I decided to put his body in the chest in Tangaroa's room while I got everything ready in Frost's. At the time, it seemed like perfect hiding place. Never counted on some gluttonous pharmacist showing up and making the whole ship collapse.
I still don't get it, though. Why disguise the body as an ice sculpture at all? The sooner it was found, the smaller the effect of freezing it would have had on masking the time of death. Therefore, he needed to disguise it, at least until it fully froze. How awful. Using Mr. Frost's own work to help you cover up the truth behind his murder.
Ironically, Tangaroa would have just been fine if the body hadn't been found before I got out of his room. If only things had gone to plan, huh? He wouldn't even have been arrested, let alone convicted.
You mean it was my fault? Everything that happened to Samson? It was all because I found the body? Don't let him get inside your head, Judes. None of this is your fault. If it wasn't Samson, it would have been Delisha instead. She would have been the one they arrested. Either way, there's only one person to blame here, and that's Gusto.
It didn't help that the actual detective was so bad at his job either. He never even told the prosecutor that the body had vanished.
So Mr. Von Cameron unwittingly placed Mr. Tangaroa under arrest in the absence of a body? I mean, I guess would explain why he was so keen to wrap things up. Still, you'd think he'd notice something like things that. Didn't he take it on a few reports, right? Not if someone had been deliberately distorting the facts of the case, though. Either way, it seems that Mr. Von Cameron didn't know the body until after the arrest had been made. But admittingly, that would have spoiled his perfect record. So he kept it to himself and proceeded to prosecute Mr. Tangaroa regardless. Can this really be true? You don't feel bad at all? Somebody spent 18 years in prison because of you.
Sticks and stones, girlie, sticks and stones. What a jerk! I ought to arrest you right now, pal.
I'm afraid I can't allow you to do that, detective.
So you noticed, huh? Glad somebody did. The judge is right. You can't lay a finger on me.
What? Why? You just confessed to the murder.
No idea, huh? Then I guess I better lay it. On the table, full out, here's my hand. It's a full house. Why you can't? I killed Frost 18 years ago. The statute of limitations for murder in this country is 15 years. You do the math. You can't arrest me. You think I have confessed otherwise?
That's right. Statute of limitations is only 15 years. Is this really the end of the line, Mr. Edgeworth? Once the statute is expired, he can be charged, so... But... How unfortunate, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm afraid that both Mr. Gusso's confession and deduction will have to be struck from the record. And now Mr. Tangaroa's convictions will remain in place. But we're finally proven that the police never had Mr. Frost's body in their possession. That was the sound of a glass hitting my tooth. What fun that is. Even if we can't arrest Mr. Gusto, surely Mr. Tangaroa has grounds for a retrial on that basis. Does he? I wouldn't be so sure. I'm afraid that the goddess's judgments are somewhat harder to overturn than you might imagine. So the committee means the verdict of 18 years ago to stand no matter what?
Bad luck, Mr. Prosecutor.
There must be something we can do. Something to bring Mr. Gusto down. Well, one thing that we can do, and that's look back at this and read it through one more time. 7 years from the date of the crime for theft. Separate time frames apply with regards to claims for damages, etc. Murder, 15 years from the date of the crime. The statute is suspended should you suspect flee to foreign countries. The statute is suspended from the time of any accomplice's indictment to the end of their trial.
Hold it!
The passage of time doesn't diminish what you did, Mr. Gusto.
It sure diminishes one thing, though.
Your ability to arrest me.
Oh, we can arrest you. We can arrest you real good. I can have you cussed before you even blink, pal. Right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Aye. Situation is open to should you making it out to be
You can't touch me. I'm too late for that.
Hold it!
Depending on your actions over the last 18 years, the statute may not have expired yet.
This ought to be good. Alright, I got nothing to hide. If there's something you want to ask, ask me.
Very well. Tell us where you've been and what you've been doing since the incident.
Sure! Well, after the contest, I was able to cure my taste disorder thanks to that formula from the book. And not so long after that, I went to St. Fart and really buckled down and honed my craft.
That explains a lot. I tried to contact you after the fact, but I guess you were long gone by then, huh?
Could be. Well, let's see. Around a year after the murder. It was before Tangaroa's last day in court. Going to St. Fart was the best thing I ever did. Labor design, and the full package now.
Objection!
And all on the backs of those whose lives you destroyed.
What's it on that left out a few eggs, hmm? Nothing was supposed to be nothing!
You're evil.
Sticks and stones, girlie! You can't arrest me, and that's all that matters. Ah,
Need more work, but there's something I can get him out of. If we push further on the statements he just made, is there anything I should follow up on? Mr. Tangaroa's final day in court. Would you mind telling us more about Mr. Tangaroa's final day in court?
fine! Mr. Tangaroa didn't stick around for his final court appearance.
Hold it!
Did you want someone to witness at any point by the prosecution of defense?
I have more important things to do than worry about some court case. I was busy getting ready to go and become the best. Get my groove on.
Further you research high and low for the guys. Seems like they don't want to put down. Because your latest cards are like an actual voice setting foot in court. I wonder...
Hold it!
Is it this one that gave... No, it's the next one that gave me the choice. I wonder if I can choose the other option for it.
Hold it!
Although maybe I'll just skip right back. It doesn't matter yet. I'll go back.
Hold it!
Depending on your actions over the last 18 years, the statute may not have expired yet.
This ought to be good. Alright, I got nothing to hide. If there's something you want to ask me.
Oh, this is the thing we do. Okay. So, let's talk about going to Zangfar. He did a thing in the background. Here's my wolf, Xing. I'd like you to tell us more about your training in Zangfar.
Fine. I later went to Zangfar to train. I finally became the best in the world.
Hold it!
Zangfar? You were there for a while, I imagine.
Yeah, I left some time after the investigation wrapped up. I've been meaning to go there and start my studies for a while. And thanks to the hard work I put in. My designs are now world class.
Whoa, that's amazing!
You like it? It's yours.
Really? Oh, right.
It's not gonna last long. It's made of pastry.
That's why I'm in tree.
Hold it!
Never say never, Mr. Gusto. Nothing is impossible.
Hold it! Really now? Come on, give it up. Your father couldn't catch me. What makes you think you can? Ah,
You would have solved the whole case if it hadn't been for Mr. Von Karma obstructing you at every turn. And now the federal limitations is threatening to enter the truth of this case forever. Don't listen to him, Mr. Redworth. You can't give up. Not now, not ever. We're doing this for your dad. Let's see it through to the end. Okay. The truth is right there for the taking. Glove, glove. What kind of great thieves are we if we don't grab it for ourselves? I'm not a great thief, but you're right. Carmela Gusto, I won't allow you to make off with the truth.
Do your work.
Malta?
Hold it!
That was the only reason? Because you knew the statute had expired?
Why else would I do it? Why would anyone? Not that I planned on everything coming out, though.
And why was that?
Because I'm finally the world's greatest confectioner. And the petty stuff, I guess, only gets in the way of me and my craft.
So you're more concerned about you and your rep than the fact that Samson's still rotting in jail. I've seen some pieces of work in my time, but you are just flat out unforgiving.
Who cares about forgiveness? I did what I did. I don't need you to understand any of it.
Alright, Miles, it's official. Uncle Eddie's mad. And that doesn't happen often. You're not the only one. But don't worry, you won't get away with this. But if I could help it, Mr. Gusto's no ordinary opponent. He's got 18 years on his cracks being exposed. Take this retro, must be somebody to arrest him. The guy's probably watched a few legal dramas before, but he's no lawyer. Not like you and me. There's gotta be some loophole somewhere we can use. We just gotta. That's right, Mr. Gusto's just an armchair attorney after all. I wonder if this.
Objection!
It's not this. You're lying, Mr. Gusto, and this proves it. This is no time for meditation. I need you to look at the evidence.
Well, I don't need to look at it. It's garbage. For you.
And you need to try harder.
Ah! If you're looking to improve your professional skills, I wholeheartedly recommend going to Zing Far.
Objection!
Damn it! This evidence will expose the truth at last.
Pathetic. It's a short year of a joke.
It's not, but this evidence doesn't point to any kind of contradiction at all, does it? May I continue? Someone's sneezing.
Hold it!
I think what I gotta do, maybe, because if he doesn't know that he was convicted and
Objection!
then I can just present the book. It's probably there.
Objection!
Unless, oh, no, right. Okay, so it's gonna be the IS-7 case file.
Objection!
Shit. It's a contradiction in your testimony, Mr. Gusto.
Oh, you do like to spout some real nonsense, don't you? You're no match for your father. Not by a long shot.
How dare you?
Too close to home? I bet.
Bastard.
Objection!
Damn it!
Objection!
I'm just trying everything, but I don't think I'm doing it right. And this again. Should the suspect flee to a foreign country? Okay, so we say about Zhang Fa stuff. Present there, maybe?
Objection!
god, I don't remember anything.
I feel silly and stupid.
Objection!
Yeah, there we go.
Womp womp.
Ugh, goodness. The statute of limitations for murder is subject to the following condition. That the statute is suspended should the suspect flee to a foreign country. Which means that the time he spent abroad doesn't count towards the total time under the statute. No way! Seems like someone hit pause when I was in Zangfar. It appears that there may be time left on the clock yet. But that will depend on how long you stayed in Zangfar, Mr. Gusto.
It was 3 years exactly.
3 years? Hold on. Nobody say anything because I've done the math. Murder happened 18 years back. Statute is 15 years, add the 3 overseas. 15 plus 3 makes exactly 18! Which means, oh no way! Mr. Edgeworth, you did it! The statute hasn't expired after all!
Ugh. Bingo! 18 years exactly. Had you worked it out for yourselves.
Oh, he's just been stringing us along this whole time. Why is he laughing? We're good, aren't we? We can arrest him now. I hate to break it to you, Kay, but IS-7 went down at the end of December. It's April now, which means, strictly speaking, it's been 18 years and 4 months since Frost's murder. Gusto stayed in Zangfar already lasted 3 years on the nose. Not enough. We're a few months short. Not enough? But...
What did I tell you? You can't touch me!
I hate to admit it, but you read the board well enough to make this commission. How unfortunate, Mr. Edgeworth. If only the statue had been suspended for another year. Those who would overturn the goddess's judgment must be willing to pay the price should they fail. And you, Mr. Edgeworth, have failed.
Ugh. No!
There must be something I can do. I knew it. Well, if the law can bring Mr. Gusto to justice, then... Jews, what do you think?
Objection!
There's no need to go out on your rap sheet just yet. We're not done here. Far from it. There's still a way we can nail them. There is? Alright, Mazzarino, pep talk. I need you to think back over everything we know about the case. Gusto's overlooked one critical thing that you yourself were led to believe wrongly about. Whichever it is. He wasn't there for Samson's last trial, remember? Best I can tell, he doesn't seem to know what the final verdict that came down that day is. Which means there's still one way left to us. Crack open your statue for dummies and take another 17 years ago, I really did enough on Samson to frame him like a little pretty picture. But if we make good use of the verdict now, we can make Gusto pay in full for what he's done. Fender, are you? Those who would overturn the goddess's judgment must be willing to pay the price they failed. Samson's my client, Miles, and I can't bring myself to use the sorcerer's pain as a weapon in his fight. But whenever we play our last card or not, it's gotta be up to him and you. Bringing Mr. Gusto to justice could only happen if I use the outcome of that hard-fought trial. So, should I raise an objection to play the card or not? My father and Mr. Von Karma. One sought to reveal the truth, the other to hide it. I know which path I chose to follow. The one that seeks to reveal the truth. This court has reached its final verdict. The record will state that Mr. Gusto has been found not guilty on all counts.
Objection!
No, Your Honor, Mr. Carmelo Gusto is absolutely guilty, and I refuse to let him walk away. His crimes are too unspeakable to go unpunished.
Do you mean to suggest you have grounds upon which to call this for his arrest?
I do.
Now should you think about something that proves the statute of limitations hasn't yet expired? Case of, if you know, suspect data.
Take that!
Very well, is there a particular page of the I-7 case file you would like to refer to? I'd like to direct your attention to the page concerning the suspect. As you can see, Samson Tangaroa was convicted as an accomplice, and it took around 1 year for his indictment to that verdict to be reached. Yes, that does seem to be the case. The book you gave us details certain conditions that change the statute of limitations for murder. One of them, as I mentioned, is that the statute is suspended if the suspect leaves the country. And another, well, states that the statute is suspended from the time of any accomplice indictment to the end of their trial.
What? Kangaroo was convicted as an accomplice?
Yeah!
Sorry, that was the meatloaf. Guess you were in Zhang Fa when the verdict came down. Samson was convicted as an accomplice, not as the main perpetrator. Which is clearly news to you, and not good news either, am I right? But how can that be? Tangaroo was an accomplice to anyone. He was innocent, and you know it.
Oh, we know it. It is what we've been trying to prove all along. And pleasing twist of fate, his wrongful conviction will be the very thing that sets him free. If you spent 3 years in Zhang Fa, and your accomplice, Samson Tangaroo, was on trial for 1 year, it means you still be charged as the Prosecutor up to 19 years after the fact. In other words, the statute of limitations hasn't expired at all!
Oh!
The goddess's judgment is infallible, but that of her servant, it appears, is not. It seems the prosecutor in charge of this case may have erred. Unbelievably, we make no choice between investigator and pulling crew.
No! Out with this. You weren't supposed to be able
Objection!
18 years. That's a long time to let somebody else suffer for your crimes. Time to pay the piper, Gusto. And not a moment too soon.
But finally the greatest. My brilliance has been recognized. I gave up everything for this. Everything. Even my son.
More's the pity. But you cannot run from the law forever, because the bills come to due at last.
Ugh.
Etc. Like how you can see the full one of him now. That it's widescreen and shit. There he goes. He left.
Mr. Gusto's all set for a trip downtown, sir.
Oh, good. Which means it's your turn next, right? I suppose so. Jews. I'm so sorry, everybody. I've caused you all so much trouble. But, thank you. Thank you so much for bringing Mr. Gusto to justice at last. I'm afraid there's no escaping the consequences of your actions, Miss Pound. But those actions were born of the legal mistakes that were made those 18 years ago. We all know that. So allow me to apologize in return, on behalf of the prosecution. Oh no, I have no one to blame but myself for it all, starting with those sculptures. Hey, Jews, you think maybe you might want me to represent you? I'm not some nervous newbie anymore. And there's no way I'm letting you take the rap for everything. Oh, I'd be honored. Thank you, Mr. Fender. Aww.
Sorry, ma'am. But you gotta come with me now.
Of course. It's a good song, it really is. Judge Gravel, why did you lie to us? I? What are you talking about? You implied that there was no case for a retrial, but as we've proven, that wasn't true. Surely anybody truly committed to seeing justice done would have called one as soon as the body was found. I am under no obligation to answer such questions. Clearly have no intention of doing so either. Truly, you are proving to be quite a threat to the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence. As such, you'll give me little choice but to report back on your continued transgressions. No doubt you'll be called to appear before the committee in due course. Now, I must be on my way. Come now, Eustace. What the heck? And after you caught the real killer and everything. Isn't that what prosecutors are supposed to do? Regardless of how it may all play out, I will never regret what we accomplished here today. Mr. Edgeworth.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes? Why did you stick your nose in that case anyway? You weren't even on the job. My job is to bring the truth to light, Mr. Winner. Not only as the prosecutor, but as a person. I don't get it. I wouldn't expect you to understand. Not as long as you believe that closing a case makes you a winner. That's going way over my head. I'm going home. What was that all about? Eustace still has a lot to learn, is all. Still's got a ways to go, if you may... Like, Milesy Wilesy! Yes? I just wanted to say old Greggy Pegleg would have been proud of you today. Oh, look at me tearing. That and... Thanks to have, of course, Sammy who... Of course. Hey, Edgy, looks like you cleared everything up, huh? So, what happened exactly? I was kind of busy sketching. Wait, where did Judy and Verity go? Wow, you really weren't paying attention, were you? No, I look to admit it, my sketches did come through for us more than one occasion. Not that I'm about to tell him that. Caught up with the glaring, will you? Whatever I did, I'm sorry. Calm down, man. I wasn't glaring at you. You totally were. You're just like your father. He was a terrible liar, too. Keep on. Listen, I'm gonna head out. I'm a head out. Need to fill Samson out while we're down today. You wanna come with? Yes, of course. Great! Then I'm coming too! April 2nd, 4:56 p.m. It's 7:37 or so now, so it's not quite there. Attention Center visitor's room. So what's Mr. Tangaroa like? I can't wait to finally meet him. Oh, he's a real sweetheart. You'll love him. Even while locked up, he can't help but make all sorts of cookies and cakes for everyone. That's why 3 p.m. cake extravaganza is a thing for presidents and gods alike. Really? That sounds awesome. Do you think there'll be any left for us to try? Didn't we find a few slices of chocolate cake in the prison the other day? Could they have been of some of Mr. Tangaroa's baked goods? Do you think Mr. Tangaroa gets baked in the prison? Gummy! What are you doing here? I heard you all were coming to see Mr. Tangaroa, so I volunteered to escort him. Hello, new friends. I'm Samson Tangaroa, Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth at your service. And I'm Mr. Edgeworth's trusty sidekick, Kay Farron. It's very nice to meet you both. Miles here is Gregory's son. Is that so? Your father was very kind to me. He fought so hard for my case. But in the end, I betrayed him. I made a false confession. Don't worry, Mr. Tangaroa. Mr. Fender has explained everything to me. Sure did. Now we're here to tell you the truth about what happened 18 years ago. The truth. Judy did all that for me? Crazy kid racked her brain for 18 years until she finally figured out how to set you free. What can I say? Turns out she really would do anything for love. No, Judy. I never did anything to deserve such devotion. Come now, Mr. Tangaroa. I think we all know that's not true. The bond between the two of you was held strong for all these years, after all. You think so? I guess I better show him. Piece of evidence is proof of the bond Mr. Tangaroa must bound share. Definitely the poison.
Take that!
Those chocolates. Judy made them, didn't she? Yes, she did. They're super delicious and sweet. It's bound to you making them just as you taught her, even after the fateful day. So that there will always be some waiting for you when you finally came home. Judy. But they're beyond super sweet, then, aren't they? Very much so, I'm afraid. I only wish we could hand them to you. Don't worry, sir. I'll make sure he gets them later. Which would be a clear breach of prison policy, although I have the authority now to stop him anyway. Thank you very much. You know, Detective, something about you reminds me of Detective Bad. Really, pal? I looked up to him a lot. He's my role model. You don't say. It seems fate likes to bring people of all sorts together, huh? You hang in there, Samson. Just a little longer. I should be able to get you out soon. Sorry it's taking so long. Nobody should have to wait 18 years just to get justice. Don't be silly, Eddie. I'm the one who should be saying sorry. Or rather... Thank you. Truly. Samson. Well, I guess it's my turn to wait for Judy to come home now. I better make sure there's something delicious on the table for her when she finally walks through that door. Don't let me down, Eddie. Leave it to me, big guy. The IS-7 incident. It's been 18 long years, but the case was inherited from my father is finally coming to a close. Hey, Miles. Thanks for today. And sorry for forcing you to make some of the final calls like that. Not at all. I simply made the call that felt right to me. Huh? What are you guys talking about? You know how Samson was wrongly convicted. We had to pretend that he wasn't in order to nail Gusto. But he used his false conviction against him, even to save him. As his lawyer, I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Yeah, I can see that. But now Mr. Gusto's behind bars, I'll finally start to get that wrongful conviction overturned. Yes, I'm always sure you will. Wait a minute. Does it mean that even you were only doing what's right? If the false conviction had been overturned before today, Mr. Gusto would have gone away scot-free? Yep. It's what we folks in the trade like to call legal contradiction. The law is far from perfect. Because of things like legal contradictions, right? Yeah, but you never know. Things might change. The law is always evolving, just like us humans. Your Uncle Eddie and Mazzarino included. Am I right? The potential for growth and change. The people in the law. So, Miles, are you going to keep fighting crime as a prosecutor, or help people as an attorney? Something tells me you got a big decision ahead of you. Only you can answer. I know. Well, let's just say I won't complain if you show up at the office one day. On that note, it's time for me to skedaddle. Ta-ra! I owe you big time, and I always pay my debts. But for now, thanks again for today. I mean, toodle pip. Flip flop. Did he seem kind of in a hurry to get out of here to you? He did. And honestly speaking, I'm the one who owes him a debt of gratitude. After all, he gave me the chance to reckon on my father's final case. When I was a boy, all I ever dreamed of was becoming an attorney like my father. Then during my time with Mr. Von Karma, I led the race and trusted as prosecutor instead. Eventually, with the help of some good friends, I found my own voice and a new way to live. But now my career as a prosecutor is at risk of being taken away from me. It may be time to take another long, hard look at how I want to live my life, whether I like it or not. April 2nd. Address and Code Law Offices. Hey, Gregory. Sorry for reporting in so late. It may have taken 18 years. Oh my god. If that was always there in the background of this CG, I swear to fucking god, that is horrifically sad. The fact that he's kept the fucking the coat and the hat on this stand in the office this whole time, that is, oh my god, Ray, Eddie, my guy. It may have taken 18 years, but we're finally in a position to prove Samson's innocence. All thanks to your boy Miles. I couldn't have done it without him. You should have seen him. The way he fought for the truth gave me chills. It's like I was watching you. Look, I know I'm not half the attorney you were. But those guiding principles you tried to instill in me, I like to think I'm embodying them now as I carry on your legacy. Here's hoping. Your boy will be joining me in that suit. Am I going to fight crime as a prosecutor? Or help people as an attorney? What is the right answer? Which path should I take? The end! We did it! Turnabout Legacy completed. After a 3-day intermission. Just 3 days. Doesn't matter too much. I haven't even gone around to playing the fucking game in the background. Because, I don't know, I was still in the middle of to kidnap Turnabout. But Turnabout Forsaken! A Turnabout Forsaken. And that is interesting to have like an A title in there as the thing. I guess we could take a peek at the intro cutscene. Because this stream is going to be a shorter one.
You might as well. And I did it for the previous case as well. Let's just look at the top of this. Started from the top, now we're there. Because we are not going to keep doing this now, much as I would like to. I hereby call this meeting to order. The committee is gathered here on the side of the goddess to test fair and frank judgment. The purpose of this hearing is to assess the professional competency of Mr. Mars Edgeworth. Are you? Why are you wearing that ridiculous raincoat? Look at those red hands and claw. No! Ah! April 5th, 1:23 p.m. High Prosecutor's Office. Getting high up in here, baby. Alright, so yeah, I mean, there was not too much text there. That's understandable, right? We'll just have a look at that in the next episode anyway. We have new items unlocked in the gallery, which of course, you get to see who are at it, along with you. Nice picture of Greg. In the photo album, 55% completed. We get new pictures of Sambo and Sam and Judy. We got these fellas. You got Lawrence. You got Buddy and you and him and them. And also this wonderful picture. It's nice to have that in full detail. You could even like zoom in and look at all the creases in all the pictures. Delicia's most important character. No, and you get a nice good look at these two photos next to each other. That's great. And this one too. Okay, bitch picture. You always gotta come back to that. 65%. As he's the main character, there he is, Gregory. He's got 37 posts. Stuff to go in. It's like, what? Which one? This one? Yep. I used this one. And I made him turn into ice. It's got all these. Which means that he's like one of the few that have like voice lines after, you know, Knightley showed up. Then past all of these fellas, we have young Eddie! He's so young! He's actually bad. 18 years ago. Manfred? Samson. Samson again. Judy. Judy twice. Delicia, who doesn't have any differences. Which is funny. She's so goofy looking in the original. She's so shaking. It's funny. Carmelo. I guess that's fair. It's just very funny how you have left, up, right, on the floor. Doot, doot, doot. And then 18 years ago, Gusto, who doesn't have one on the floor. And then Lawrence. I love how he just called Maurice this whole time. And also these two. They get to show up here. That's peculiar. Why they're there, you know. Now we get to have a look at them. Larry. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, you get to look at all three of them. Nice. Must be the same here. Also, this music is kind of good. There's this breakdown, one that we just saw. 54-year-old dickhead. Boof boof. He's dead. And then we have all you. Von Karma. He's all like... Objection. And then I say... Objection. Etc. Tyrell Bad, Eddie Fender, and also the barking of the dog is good. And we have to look at...
Objection! Take that! Hold it!
Oh, that's good. You had them all in that.
Eureka!
Urethra!
Objection!
Good, good, good. Nice to see you. Get taken aback once more, Gregory. There we go. Wait, this one I missed? Somehow? Was it because of confrontation? Did I miss them? Oh, I didn't even pan off properly from Eddie from years ago. Just eats the paper. Alright. So that is the summation. I know it is short. We had to get that done. That was all that could have been fit into one stream. The last one, that was actually 0.5, which is why by the time you see this now, maybe in the future, but as of now, it's currently 2 parts, 5 and 5.5. But in the far future, it'll be one whole 5, and it'll be like a nice long video for you to enjoy. Nice, right? So that's for the far future. For now, however, it's time for us to actually cease operations for the day. So I would like to continue. I've done all I needed to do here, really. There's the entirety of things that needed to happen. Just going all the way over and dealing with the last bit of the case that needs to be done. And, you know, by the time we get started next, it'll be case number 4, a turnabout Forsaken. Is that what it said? I'm even looking in the background. You can see my freaking. I mean, why do I do look at the title? Just look at the logo. Turnabout Forsaken is the next case going on. So that's what's on the docket coming up in the next stream. For now, we are leaving this behind. Thank you very much for tuning in this time. I recommend you check out this only, and also by the time this has come around to the Monday, there's been a new big clingy stream where he started off chapter 2 of the game. So he has gone through again. He's met Eustace Winner now. I still need to watch them, but it's a lot of stream to watch for the first part and the second part. And I have other things I should be watching regardless. But at least I caught up on my podcasts. Hell yeah! No. So that's gotta be it for today. You can spend your fellas time looking at the playlist of all the streams, which I'm going to be adding to the description as well. Yeah, the playlist in. And the timestamps will be there soon enough. Believe you me, we got them timestamps going. And I will see you all when I see you all next. Thank you very much, everybody. We shall be seeing you. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. That's all I gotta say. That's it. I'm bad at ending the stream. See you maybe Friday. Hopefully. I gotta get to drawing again. Unless I get distracted by pickles. Shut the fuck up, Joshua. End the fucking stream.